So Aaron Beckman, I will spare you the BNI introduction of myself. I think the thing everyone wants to see right now is my wife. She is on looking back, my last presentation was right at the beginning of the year, so it was like I knew, but wasn't really telling anyone yet. So it's exciting now. She's due August 3rd, so it's coming fast, and we're having a good time. She's actually feeling really good, and thanks to a lot of people in the group, has stayed very healthy. So yeah, keep praying for us and for her and the baby.
Enjoy your sleep.
And yeah, I can sleep in right now. I am. And then yeah, for those of you who know me, this is my busy time of the year and doing hobbies and having fun. So I've been playing a lot of golf lately, and thanks to Dr. James, who's unfortunately not here. I had knee surgery last summer, and I'm all the way back playing football again, which is just a passion of mine and something I really enjoy. So if you guys ever want to come, it's a fun time. You can come on a Sunday and watch grown men get angry about flags and flag football. I wanted to try something a little different today. Dave is presenting after me, and inspired by him, I actually read Traction just this past week, and honestly, it was kind of the first time I felt like I could apply words to how I want my business to run and how I want to think through insurance with my customers. And I think that's what makes me different. Insurance is a commodity. Let's be honest, right? Almost everyone in this room has an insurance policy. If you don't, maybe we should talk. But more than likely, everyone you know has an insurance policy for their business. And what I offer is not so much the policy itself, but helping you think through your business. And I think EOS gives us a really good framework. So I'm going to practically apply the EOS model to kind of my thought process around insurance. And I want this to be kind of a think tank for all of you as business owners. So we're going to look at insurance from this EOS perspective. And the first component of EOS is vision. And a lot of that comes down to, what is your goal for the business long term? Thinking about, are you going to sell a business in a couple of years, right? Is that ultimately your goal? Or maybe 10 years from now, do you want to pass it down, have it as an inheritance to your kids? And then ensuring, from my perspective, that your coverage aligns with those objectives, right? Like ultimately, selling you every policy on the planet might not be the right fit for your business. If you're moving in the direction that, hey, we want to expand this thing to the point that we're going to sell, maybe that is the goal, but we also can go the route of like doing captive insurance. We can look at kind of some outside of standard market options, and those are creative solutions that I try to bring to the table that maybe other agents in the commercial space don't. And ultimately, the most expensive claim that I've seen is the claim that's not covered, right? Or the claim that you don't have policy for. And that's what can be detrimental to the profitability of the business and your goals. Is when you have a claim, we don't want that to be a setback, right? It can be a speed bump, but we want to keep moving in the right direction, and we don't want to completely undercut the business. The second component of EOS is people, right? Having the right people in the right seats is how the book states it. And I think a huge part of that is just how your business is structured, right? I think as small business owners, a lot of us are doing everything and trying to run the whole business ourselves. But you might have subcontractors and employees, and you have to consider how are those people going to be covered and what liabilities do they bring to your business. But ultimately, I think getting to a place where you have a team, a leadership team that manages your claims, your safety, right, your safety protocols, and then the policy renewals themselves and the structure of your business. So as we're thinking through this, feel free to maybe take notes on like who would be someone that you could, in your current setup right now, be thinking, who's someone I could train to handle safety or to handle my renewals? I mean, as business owners, you want to be getting yourself out of the business and not in the business. Okay, the third component is data. And when David and I met, insurance companies love talking about data, right? So when we say data from an EOS perspective, what we're talking about is lead indicators, okay? A lot of people want to talk about their claims or their mod, for their work comp. Those things are things that happen after the fact. A lot of times it's too late, right? Once we start seeing claims roll in, it means there's bigger problems. So if we can sit down and we put your policies in place and talk about what are some risk assessments, things that we could be checking on the front end, reducing risk proactively, that's then going to translate to lower mod scores, fleet safety, discounts, and then putting those things as measurable component of your company's success. Insurance ultimately is
the end result of a lot of good that you're doing in your business. So when people say, oh, I got a better rate, or you went to a better company, maybe moved from a surplus market to a standard market, it's not just because we had a silver bullet. A lot of times it's because the business is doing all of the right things and tracking the right data points. Once you know kind of what those data points are, you can identify issues, gaps in coverage, and then we can define and create solutions around your business. So if you're in a high-risk industry, or understanding what your vulnerabilities are. Maybe it's like, hey, we haven't been hit with a hailstorm for a couple years. We're going to decrease our wind-hail deductible, so when we do get hit, inevitably, we're not going to be paying as much out of pocket on our building. Or hey, we just got a new roof, we're going to take a larger deductible and go that direction. And then we can start looking at compliance-related issues, so like certificate requirements, DOT findings, contractual requirements, etc. And once we have those things in mind, we can create processes and systems. And this is really the bread and butter of what I do with businesses. Is once we start to understand kind of where we're going, we can consider every cycle through your renewal. We can look at what processes and workflows are going to be most helpful for you. So putting things in place for your employees, like a vehicle safety checklist, or for you and your HR team, hey, we're going to do new hire training, new hire background checks, have an employee handbook. Those are processes that we can help you create from an insurance perspective that are going to help round out the business as well. And the final piece is traction, right? This is where we all want to go. We want to get going in the right direction towards our goals. And looking at insurance less as just, this is something I have to pay every single year, and more as, this is safeguarding that vision. This is safeguarding me from some detrimental loss that is going to put us behind. And then looking at that annually and quarterly, right? Updating your sales figures, your rating basis, all of the factors that insurance looks at. If we're on top of those things, then you're not going to get hit with a surprise audit last second. And then creating accountability. So that's really it. That's all I have. It's just kind of some practical applications of EOS. And Dave's going to talk more about what EOS looks like maybe on a broader scale.